What up, my little pudding cups? So, as anyone who has ever done magnet fishing will tell you, there's really two great fears that you're really ever going to experience. The first being the potential of losing a magnet, because these things are not cheap, ranging anywhere from about $40 plus. And the second great fear is the potential of getting stuck. And today we're going to actually be going over some of my personal magnet fishing horror stories. However, though, we're actually going to be doing something different for a change. We're actually going to be filming each of these stories at the location at which it actually happened. So, with that, alright, so as I tried saying earlier, we're going to try something different. We're actually going to be filming at the locations where, you know, the magnet fishing nightmares actually happened. So this bridge we're on right now is on Amidon and 21st Street. And what ended up happening was I ended up losing my magnet over the bridge. I had to get my buddy John down here in order to help me look for it, because I was using my longer cord, I think it's about 100 feet or so, and I did not have it tied in any way. So when I threw the magnet, I did not catch it in time, so it just went completely over. And me and John spent the better part of about, I don't know, maybe an hour literally throwing my backup magnet down there, seeing if we couldn't just get lucky to fish out my first magnet, and then even trying to use the grappling hook to see if I could maybe catch the cord and drag it up. And what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to take you down to the riverbed and show you exactly what we were dealing with, because as you can see up top, it's quite well lit. Down below, pitch black. Alright, as you can see, this is how dark it is down below the bridge. And all we had to work with was the flashlight cameras. Now if you had you know, my lantern, I could have illuminated the area better. But to make matters just all the more enjoyable, super soft silt is what makes up the majority of the riverbank. Now, another thing that ended up happening is my grappling hook got stuck and those branches right there, and I mean good and stuck. I actually had to get down into the river. The river was a lot lower than it is right now then, though. But what really just made this all the more worse was my cord was actually on the ground right over here. Gotta be careful not to fall, because this stuff is very loose. Woo. Just right there is where my cord ended up falling. So, and we're going to move on to the next area. Okay, so this is the next bridge that we're going to have our horror story on. This one, I got stuck, and I mean I got stuck bad. So bad, in fact, I'd like to show some of the stuff I had to use to get unstuck. I had to use, now the clamp I brought with me, I brought a few things with me. I brought a claw hammer, I bought my clamp, but realistically I had to use my rubber mallet and a chisel to literally unstick myself. I was stuck so bad. So here's the story of what happened. I had fished up the way on another bridge that was not magnetic, like at all. I don't know if they're made of aluminum or what, but it was incredibly, nothing on it was magnetic. So I came to this bridge and I thought, hey, I wonder if this bridge is also magnetic. So I decided to take my 600-pound magnet and try to give it a quick test. Let me show you the results of me trying that.
As you can see, the marks left over from my magnet getting stuck are actually still on the post. And in a moment of sheer genius, I actually tried to knock the thing off sideways. Well, it then got stuck on the side, which made it even harder to get unstuck, leaving me with no choice but to actually leave my magnet here. What I failed to mention in the last area too is I had to leave my stuff there because I had to go get John to help me find it. But yeah, I had to go and get my chisel and my rubber mallet in order to knock the magnet back this way so that it's front facing and half of it's on the bridge. Then I stuck my chisel to my magnet so it wouldn't fully stick again, and then basically had to strong arm pry it clean off. And as a real kick in the teeth, I found nothing at all when I came back here again to try to magnet fish again, just so the bridge wouldn't defeat me. But that now leads to our last and quite possibly the worst horror story. Okay, now with this third story, this is where things actually start getting really, really bad. Now, the past couple of stories that I've done had significant chance for financial loss since, you know, those magnets aren't cheap. I think the cheapest one I had was like $40. And the most expensive was like 60 or 70. But this one had the potential to actually cost human life. So let me go through the story. What ended up happening was I found something down here and my 600-pound magnet wouldn't bring it up. So I decided, okay, I'll grab my grappling hook and try to drag that up. Well, what ended up happening was my grappling hook ended up getting stuck in the object, and I ended up having to, after several attempts to get the grappling hook up with whatever it was stuck on, I ended up having to tie the grappling hook cord down there at the very bottom next to the wall and leave it while I went and got my friends John and Nathan to help me get this thing up. Well, what ended up happening from there was we first off found out that I was stuck on a 30-pound or a 40-pound grate, and in such a way that no matter how much we, you know, tried to shake it, that thing was not going to dislodge. Now this is where things start getting bad. Because of that, we came up with this idea of getting on these rocks over here and trying to actually drag up the object from the rocks. Now, the thing is my friend John, who was the first person to get on the rocks, can't swim. So, as you can see, that's quite a drop to the river below, not to mention there's still outcrops of rocks that he could have fell on. So right there, we're in trouble. And then to give John a hand, my friend Nathan also gets out on those rocks. So now I'm literally risking 2 of my friends' lives just so I can, you know, get my stupid grappling hook unstuck. Well, what ended up happening is we got it unstuck, and then we decided what we were going to do with the thing, because we already had it halfway up the rocks. So I just basically said, you know what, if we can fully get it up, we're just going to take it on home with us. But I mean, in hindsight, probably not the best plan of possibly risking 2 lives just for like a $30 grappling hook and maybe about $10-15 worth of scrap metal. So with that, we are going to wrap up this. Tell me what you thought about this. This is my first time ever trying filming at the location for these kind of things. This is my first time ever trying doing a horror story. Don't forget to like, subscribe, click the notification bell if you want to stay up with my content. And as always, I've been Live Action Pudding, and it looks like brains to me. Sorry about that, guys. I just remembered, I forgot to tell you, we are currently at the Keeper of the Plain statue bridge. There's the bridge and the keeper right up there. So there we go.